Abu Hamza secretly worked for MI5 to keep streets of London safe. Abu Hamza, the radical Islamic preacher notorious for his hate-filled sermons, was in reality working secretly with British intelligence to keep the streets of London safe by calling hotheads, his lawyer claimed in a US court. Holding up what he said were reports from Scotland Yard, Joshua Drakel described the cleric as an intermediary who cooperated with MI5 and the police to try to end foreign hostage-taking and diffuse tensions within Muslim community in Britain. And he did all this by spewing hate. What's that smell? Smells like bullshit! But the article goes on. The extraordinary admission will fuel conspiracy theories that he was allowed to preach hatred without arrest for so long in the UK because he was working with the security authorities. Now it's become pretty fucking obvious that the likes of MI5 and MI6 have been working with characters like Abu Hamza and Amjad Trauri for years, because if they weren't, they wouldn't be allowed to say what they say without being arrested. Only the other day, we had Paul Weston, who's the chairman of the Liberty Great Britain Party, arrested, and for what? Did he incite violence? Did he incite a riot? No. Did he harm anyone or cause a disturbance of the peace? No. He was quoting Winston Churchill, who we are consistently told was our greatest ever leader. You see, if you're working with MI5 and MI6, you're allowed to spew as much hate as you like wherever you go. However, you quote our so-called greatest leader and you're going to the slammer for a while. Governments in the West, including the British government, are helping Al-Qaeda in far-off countries. They're arming, funding and training them. They did in Syria, they did in Libya. They're pretending they're fighting them at home, but in reality, they are supporting Al-Qaeda. They're Al-Qaeda's support network. Did you see this article the other day, which just adds even more evidence to the fact that we're becoming Al-Qaeda's weapon suppliers? Benghazi attack could have been prevented if US hadn't switched sides in the war on terror and allowed $500 million worth of weapons to reach Al-Qaeda militants, reveals damning report. This report goes on. The Citizens Commission of Benghazi, a self-selected group of former top military officers, CIA insiders and think tankers, declared Tuesday in Washington that a 7-month review of the deadly 2012 terrorist attack has determined that it could have been prevented if the US hadn't been helping to arm Al-Qaeda militias throughout Libya a year earlier. The United States switched sides in the war on terror with what we did in Libya, knowingly facilitating the provision of weapons to known Al-Qaeda militias and figures. Claire Lopez, a member of the commission and a former CIA officer, told Mail Online. Did you hear that? This top group of people, over 7 months of investigating, concluded that America had switched sides in the war on terror to support Al-Qaeda. Not my words, her words. Read them yourself. How does that make the 9/11 victims' families feel? Or the 7/7 victims' families feel? Where are you? Why are you not up in arms about this? The American government are supporting the very terrorists that killed your family members. The very terrorist organisation that they created in the first place, they then switched them round to make them the enemy, and now they've switched them back to support them. Why are you not outraged by this? Wake up! But I'm sure the general public will disbelieve these former top military officers, CIA insiders and think tankers as mere conspiracy theorists. Because after all, opening your mind and seeing that the world is corrupt as it is long and that you've been living a complete lie all your life is a lot harder than playing Call of fucking Duty, isn't it? I fucking hate people. They are so thick. So dense, so useless. I've been working where I'm currently working for about a year, and do you know what? Not one person, and I mean not one person, has brought up anything about politics in my time there. It just doesn't exist to them. No wonder governments can arm Al-Qaeda in broad daylight and get away with it with simple denial. They can't be doing that because the government man said so. No wonder we allow Abu Hamza to spew hate for years but arrest a man in minutes for quoting Winston Churchill. Wake up, people! Stop being so naive!